You're listening to Independent TV 7. Kindly click on the like button and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Independent TV 7. Also, don't forget to click the bell icon to get more notification. Thanks for watching. On a quick one, so many allegations on Malami as a collection of VAT, value-added tax by Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS) remains and speaks on Sunday Igboho terrorism. Sunday Igboho terrorism. Okay, let's know what the news entails. The federal government says the Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS) will continue to collect value-added tax (VAT) following the ruling of the Court of Appeal on the matter. The Attorney General of the Federation (AGF) and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami said this in New York, United States, while speaking on the disagreement over the collection of VAT, value-added tax, between FIRS and Rivers State government. The chief law officer of the Federation explained that the ruling of the Court of Appeal that FIRS and the Rivers government maintain status quo favored FIRS, which is the Federal Inland Revenue Service. Well, to the inscription or ascribing Malami as the chief law officer of the Federation. Yes, he is at present is the chief law officer, but to Nigerians is the most unmerited chief law officer, because he has faulted a whole lot of law, and he has committed so many atrocities and violated human rights law by his disposition, because he does not really merit that. I usually get angry when they ascribe that title to him, that is the Attorney General of the Federation. Yes, maybe by what we are saying now is the Attorney General, but when it comes to disseminating information, representing his office, is 0% behind what we expect. Well, according to him, he said it was Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS) that had been collecting the VAT before the dispute arose, over which the Rivers government approached the High Court. The position of not only the federal government but indeed the judiciary is the fact that status quo associated with the collecting of VAT should be maintained, Malami said. I don't know if the judicial system in Nigeria is faulty now, because I relate it to when Nnamdi Kanu was supposed before I go to Nnamdi Kanu, Sunday Igboho's aides, that the chief judge said they should release them. The DSS couldn't release. Instead, they laid a fresh charges on them. If I want to venture into so many of that, I will, extend time and going into IPOB also, or Nnamdi Kanu, but we don't have much time. But let's deal with this first. As far as the judicial system is concerned, the status quo as at the time the parties approached the court, it was the Federal Inland Revenue Service that was indeed collecting the value-added tax. So with that in mind, the federal government has succeeded in obtaining an order that establishes the sustenance of the status quo. Which status quo is that? The federal government Federal Inland Revenue Service should continue collection. Well, as it is, Lagos State government has passed into law, and even Rivers also has passed into law, but I don't know if they have reversed that according to this counter. But let's go further, maybe it would explain it better. He says, so with their mindset, this is pending the determination of the cases that were instituted by states, particularly the Rivers State government and the Lagos State government. The cases are being determined by the court. The Rivers government had urged the Supreme Court to set aside the Court of Appeals September 10 ruling ordering the FIRS to maintain status quo on the issue of VAT collection. Is indeed getting more interesting by the day. The Rivers State also had urged the Supreme Court to set aside the Court of Appeals September 10 ruling ordering it and FIRS to maintain status quo. A three-member panel of the Court of Appeal, headed by Arono Samani, issued the order being challenged at the Supreme Court, which has been challenged. But notwithstanding what we are really facing in Nigeria is it's becoming so alarming, and now that they want to appeal or whatever FIRS is planning to do. Well, I do not subscribe to that as yet, because as it is, their plans may not really work. Why would Lagos State and Rivers State, let me combine them together, why would they generate value added tax? Yes, as it is being said that the Federal Inland Revenue Service has been the institution collecting VAT, the value added tax, before now, sending it to federal government. To explain to a layman what this whole thing or the saga is all about, they will generate VAT and send it to federal government. Federal government now will divide the VAT, give the Lagos State of Rivers State either 15% or thereabout, so they share the value added tax to every region, every state rather, to benefit from. Likewise, the Rivers will bring its own, the Edo, Delta, likes like that. They will send it to federal government. The federal government would, distribute to other states. Likewise, the northern part of the country. But the issue on ground is what really prompted. Rivers State said if the ban on alcohol or destruction of alcohol drinks in the northern part is being, is being on, rather, you destroy alcohol beverages and you expect the companies that are embedded in their state to produce alcohol, how will they generate VAT? So they will generate VAT from alcohol and send it to you. So what you do, you don't eat, you don't perceive it. So that was what brought up this issue, and likes like that. And in other words, Rivers State also said, the Rivers State governor said, the VAT they generate in the northern part, is not comparable to what they are generating either in Rivers or Lagos state. But what the federal government is doing is just too obvious that it's been sentimental in the distribution of the VAT. When you give back 15% to from 100% of what the value added tax they from the Rivers or Lagos states extend to the federal government. In the northern part, if it's 2 million naira they generate as VAT, they return back the 2 million naira. What this implies is that they give federal inland revenue 100% of the VAT, they return 100% back to them. Why not return 100% back to Rivers State or Lagos State? Instead, from the 100%, they give them 15% and still share the rest to the northern part of the country. That was what brought the agitation. And if it's so, let everybody generate his VAT and share the VAT amicably. So the state government wants to collect the VAT by themselves and also give it to whoever they want to give it to. But the federal government said no, because they know that they have been gaining from the value added tax coming from the southern part of the country, because they generate most. But notwithstanding, there is a governor that came out, the governor governor of Plateau State, Simon Lalong, said that the issue of VAT, he doesn't have any problem with it. But what he has problem with is that the federal government should come to Plateau State to come and build infrastructure so that they can have foreign investors that will generate more VAT for them. But there is insecurity in the northern part. How would foreign investors go there? That's my plight.